So I was originally planning for this episode to show you guys this Sunday afternoon game against the Toronto Blue Jays, but I accidentally deleted the file after I recorded it, and it was a really good extra innings game that we won 5-4. So that's supposed to be the second to last regular season episode, but I'm actually going to simulate ahead here. Didn't figure there were any other games worth showing until this last series of the year against the Baltimore Orioles, where we enter a tied for the division lead with the team. Blue Jays have been eliminated from contention for the division. They do look like they could still get a wild card spot though. So we simulate the first two games of the series and we split. So that's going to mean it comes down to game 162 here from Camden Yards. Winner take all, loser to the wild card game with the AL East division on the line. So for the second straight year, the Red Sox go into the last regular season game with the division on the line. If you remember last year, it was game 163 against the Blue Jays that the Red Sox did win behind the strong performance out of Clay Buchholz going up against former Red Sox Franklin Morales. And the Red Sox did come out victorious in that one and then went on to lose to the A's in the ALDS. But this year hoping for something different, at least in that part of it. Still hoping to win the division, obviously. And first things first, before we even get into the gameplay, I do want to tell you guys, I know I'm going to get a zillion comments about like what I thought about the John Lester trade in real life, because most of you know that I'm a pretty big Red Sox fan, and yeah, I pretty much voiced all my thoughts on Twitter, and you guys should follow me on Twitter because that's where you can find a lot of this, like my comments on stuff like that. Overall, I thought it was a fine trade. Sox need right-handed power, and getting something for Lester. Considering the circumstances, I would have re-signed Lester in spring training, but considering the circumstances and the unlikelihood that he comes back, it made sense to deal him, and they addressed a pretty big need moving forward. So, all right, Cole Hamels on the mound for the Sox today after a 1-2-3 first from Chris Tillman. Hamels gets the ball here in game 162, chance to win the Sox the division. Of course, he was the second big deadline pickup that we got this year, and a nice play by Dustin Pedroia firing off his back foot to get Jones at first, and that might have saved a run there with the runner at third. So top of the second, scoreless here, 3-2 count to Giancarlo Stanton, and he looks foolish on that Chris Tillman changeup right there, which is fooling Red Sox hitters all day long. But one thing that was not fooling hitters was his fastball, because that one's driven to deep center field, back, and goodbye. Home run. Michael Kadire goes yard and gives the Red Sox the lead 1-0. A solo home run off of Chris Tillman, the 2014 opening day starter for the Orioles, who won 16 games in 2013, but obviously wins don't mean too much for a pitcher. I think most people can accept that in 2014 or even in this game, 2015. And he's a fine pitcher. You know, he's probably a slightly above average league or above league average pitcher, but getting the ball here in game 162, and like I said, he had his changeup working early on, but could not get that fastball by Kadire. So top of the second, still 2-2 is the count, and Napoli looking for the changeup that actually gets the high fastball, and we strike out swinging there. So bottom of the second here, Red Sox killer J.J. Hardy up, and Hardy hits it to deep left center field. Bradley on the run, but he will look up and watch that one fly. A solo home run from Red Sox killer J.J. Hardy, and I don't mean in real life. If you guys remember, J.J. Hardy had 2 home runs off of, I believe, John Lester in a game earlier this season against us, and he seems to always do damage against me in this game, and I don't know what it is. He's not that great of an offensive player. He has a lot of pop, especially for a shortstop, but you know, he's usually like a 260, 270 hitter and doesn't, you know, get on base a ton, so it's weird that he always seems to do well against us. But bottom of the second, 1-2 count here to Matt Wieters, and oh, he just gets frozen on the curveball right there. Wieters doesn't even try to argue. He just looked foolish on that pitch. So top of the fifth, now we skip ahead a little bit. Still 1-1 is the score. 2-1 the count to Ortiz, and Ortiz lines one to deep right center field. Markakis going back. He looks up, and it is gone. The third solo home run of the day from this game, and this one comes from David Ortiz, who can't shift against that. He just drives that one over the right center field wall, probably to the deepest part of the ballpark in that little alley right there in right center field, 380 feet or so. And now, 2 batters later, Mike Napoli up with 1 out in the inning. First pitch to the AB to Napoli, and Napoli lines one deep left center field, and it is the third solo home run of the day for the Boston Red Sox as they take a 3-1 lead now. Napoli gets it done. 2 home runs in 3 at-bats for the Red Sox here, opening up a 2-run lead, looking to try and win things here and try to snatch up that division. So next batter is Garen Cecchini. He works a 3-2 count here. Tillman from the full windup. He leaves this one over the plate. Cecchini to deep left center. We don't have another, do we? Yes, we do. Garen Cecchini back-to-back with Mike Napoli, and the third home run in 4 at-bats for the Boston Red Sox. What a showing of power here from this team. Chris Tillman just cannot get it by these guys. They're not leaving it up to the defense and not leaving it up to putting it in play and trying to get lucky here or anything. They're just going to hit it over the fence all day long. 4 solo home runs for the Red Sox now on the afternoon. 3 in 1 inning and 5 total from this ball game. 4-1 is the score now. Red Sox on top. Still top of the 5th. Next batter's Blake Swihart. Can we go back to back to back? Swihart, he goes down. Checks his swing, or tried to check his swing there, but he went around. So Swihart goes down. And that would do it for Chris Tillman, though. After 5 innings, they're going to bring on Johan Santana, who split time between the rotation and the bullpen this year for the Orioles. He comes in now for the top of the 6th, still 4-1 Boston. First batter of the inning is Xander Bogaerts. He hits it to the hole in short. Hardy comes up firing, throw in the dirt, cannot be corralled by Davis. And a couple of Gold Glove caliber fielders right there do not get the job done. So it's a leadoff base runner for the Red Sox. And now Giancarlo Stanton, he goes the opposite way with it into right field for a base hit. Markakis comes up with it, fires into third. That will hold Bogaerts at second. But the first 2 men of the inning are on for the Red Sox, looking to blow this game open. Next batter is David Ortiz, 3-2 count. He goes around, swung at ball 4 right there, but a dirty, dirty slider from Johan Santana gets Ortiz to go down. So next batter is Michael Kadire, 1 out in the inning, and he takes a close ball 4 on the 3-2 count. So that's a walk for Michael Kadire. Now 3-1 to Mike Napoli, and he walks. Another close pitch. Santana can't get a call here, and he walks in a run. So the Red Sox get their 5th run of the game. The first run scored by either team, not via the home run. 2-2 count to Garrett Cicchini, and he goes down, this time looking. Finally, Santana gets a call in the outer half of the plate. Now 3-2 is the count to Swihart. Didn't actually have the runners going here, but he hits it to deep right field. Markakis into foul territory. He will make the play, and Santana somehow only allows 1 run in that inning, getting out of it relatively unscathed, but he gives up 1, and it's 5-1 Boston. Now bottom of the 6th, 1-2 count to Adam Jones, and curveball. Cole Hamels, absolutely dirty right there. Jones can't do anything with that. Next batter is Nelson Cruz, the 2-2 to him, and this time he lines it into the left center field gap. Bradley on the run, he'll chase it down at the wall. And actually, that's, what am I saying? Not Jackie Bradley Jr., that's Shane Victorino. And Victorino will end up throwing it into the cutoff man. So 1 man on and 1 man out for J.J. Hardy here. 0-1 count. Hardy to deep left field. And J.J. Hardy continues to hit Boston pitching well. It's a ground rule double that drives in Cruz. So now a man on third with 2 outs, 2 batters later. It's Wieters up. He lines it harder to the shortstop Bogaerts. So will come up and fire it to first base in time. And that will retire the side. So Hamels gives up a run. The Orioles get it back to 3, but it's still a 3-run ball game here with the Red Sox on top heading into the last 9 outs of this game. Ross Ohlendorf will come on for the Baltimore Orioles. Did not do a lot of work this year. Looks like he might have been a September call-up with 1 man on and 2 men out now in the 7th inning, and Giancarlo Stanton goes down looking on that borderline 3-2 pitch. So on to the bottom of the 7th, 2 men out. Chris Davis hits it the other way to left field. That will be caught by Michael Kadire, who ranges to his right and makes the play. So Hamels gets through 7 strong, only allowing 2 runs on 8 hits. And I think he had 3 or 4 strikeouts, not too many. But Koji Uehara is going to come on and pitch the 8th, our super setup man, closer turn setup man after the Glenn Perkins acquisition at the deadline. 2-2 the count to Hardy, and Hardy this time, instead of hitting an extra base hit or a home run or anything, he's going to ground it to Bedoya there. So Uehara gets through a 1-2-3-8. We're going to head to the 9th now, where Glenn Perkins will come on and try to notch his 40th save of the season. He currently stands at 39 heading into this ball game. He has been a lot better with Boston than he was with Minnesota this year, so we'll see if he can continue that and close out this division. Delman Young, the lefty killer, up to lead things off. He lines one into left field, but Kadire is there to make the play, and that is out number 1. You can see here on your screen the leaderboard for saves in the AL this year, and I think Perkins was 4th or 5th there with 39 saves. Next batter is Matt Wieters. He hits one into center field. That's a base hit. So a 1-out base runner for the Orioles as they try to extend their season here, or at least try to avoid that wild card game, which, as we all know, can be so deadly. So Carlos, no, this is not, I forget who this is. I think it's Carlos Baguero. He comes up next, and he strikes out looking. So 2 men down now for the Orioles, down to their last out, down to their last strike. 3-2 the pitch to Machado, strike 3 looking, and the Boston Red Sox are your 2015 AL East Division champions for the 3rd straight year. The Red Sox win the division. Their final regular season record stands at 93-69. Which is better than last year's, I believe, but worse than the 2013 record. So they win the division, and up next will be the ALDS. They avoid the wild card game, which likely would have been pitched by probably Clay Buchholz, which obviously we've seen how well he can do in a 1-game playoff. But either way, there's so many advantages to winning the division. Instead of having to play that wild card game, you get to set up your pitching rotation a little bit, get a couple extra days off, and you avoid the randomness of what can happen in a one-game playoff, as we've seen multiple times now in real life and in this game. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Hope you did enjoy. The playoffs will be coming up next, and I hope you guys are excited as I am. Maybe we can try to make our first World Series run of this YouTube series. Thanks for watching. Hope you did enjoy, and I'm out.